Alright guys, I got a surprise for you. We just recently came up on this graveyard that's right here in our own little town. Nobody knew about it. The gentleman I just talked to said that they've been clearing out the trees and stuff. He has no idea what they're going to do. He says he's hoping that they do not build any houses here. He has lived here his whole life, and he remembers playing over here as a child. And this graveyard, of course, has been here since then. He doesn't know who these people are. He said he does know that at one time the people that own this property moved out of state, and he's never heard from anybody again. So we just recently seen this graveyard, so we are going to experience it alive together. So, of course, you've got graveyard that's always under a big old tree. So this, let me read them to you. Sally Drawn, born December 2nd, 1854, died August 22nd, 1905.
The Yates one.
Huh?
The Yates one. Sally Mary Drawn.
James Yates. Pernicia, wife of James Yates, born 1820, died 1908. And I am wondering, since this is James Yates is one of the gentlemen that come back with Kilgore to settle in Cross Plains. This is awesome. Let me get around here to this one. This one says, James, son of Lewis Yates, born October 1823, died 1908. Same time the other guy did. And it looks like there's a hole next to this, so I don't know if it's part of the tree stumps or what, but I'm not going to. It's kind of crazy because this tree is right in front of this tombstone, so it's kind of crazy to think that these roots have grabbed a hold of these tombstones. I'm just going to be very careful because I don't know if there's any sinkholes or anything out here. Looks like this one, you can't really tell, but that's a sinkhole right there. Let's see, this says George Yates, born February 13th, 1820, died March 10th, 1870. Charles Yates, born February 1795, died October 15th, 1867. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is crazy. So let me just refresh you guys. I don't know if you know anything about Cross Plains, but we've been doing a little bit of research. Kilgore came here in the 1700s. In the latter part of the 1700s, he was here. He was living in a cave out here. We still have not yet to find that, but we will. But he had to he planted corn. He had to grow corn. He hid from the Indians. I don't know how he did it, but he did. And he took some of that corn and he took it to North Carolina to prove that he had planted a crop in this area. So they granted him a bunch of land. So he come back and officially settled in Cross Plains in 1777. and that's when Cross Plains was formed. So these people, the Yates, when Kilgore came back from North Carolina, he brought several people with him. Yates was one of those people that I know of for a fact. So these are, I'm assuming, and I'm hoping, I'm going to try to do some research on these names. These people, to me, looks like they were related to the Yates that come back with Kilgore. But this is Nancy, wife of Charles Yates, born November 23rd, 1797, died August 4th, 1865. So, Cross Plains was formed in 1777, and less than 100 years, this lady died. But this is crazy. And so far, it looks like this is the youngest one. Lydia Yates, born January 4th, 1835, died April 10th, 1859. I am loving this. I mean, it's sad that these people are here, but of course everybody dies sometime, but I am so loving this find. So this is the Yates family cemetery. And check out these gates. Oh my God. This is just too freaking cool. Too cool. And it's so old I can't even close it. It says the Stewart Iron Works, Culvert Street, Cincinnati, Ohio. And they're clearing out this part of the land, but I don't know what they're doing. I mean, like he said, he hopes and prays that they're not going to build houses around his land. I don't blame him. I don't know what this is. This is kind of crazy. They're rocks formed.
Family plot.
Huh?
Family plot.
A family spot, maybe? This spot right here. So it's like in a square. This is Eleanor Byram, and I think if I'm reading that right and remember right, that Byram was a person that come back with Kilgore. Eleanor Byram, 1828, died 1859, so she wasn't that old. This is Florence Byram, October 1855 to November of it looks like maybe 1900. 1855 to 1900. So that's Eleanor J. Florence. This is Charles Byram, possibly the husband, but why would he have a smaller tombstone than these two ladies, unless they were in charge? Oh no, this guy's younger. Charles Byram, July 27th, 1857 to December 6th, 1867. He's only 10 years old. So he was a very, very young lad. I don't know what this one says. It doesn't have any... Oh, it's on this side. This is Willie, son of something Swann, born 1859, died April 1900. I'm sorry, 1859, died April 23rd, 1860. Yeah, he was born May 10th, 1859, died April 23rd, 1860. So he wasn't even a year old. He was 11 months old. And this is John Swann, born July 1817, died January 1891. So this whole cemetery is like 1800s only. This is Mildred Swann, wife of John Swann, born December 19th, 1824, died July 1895. And there's some markers here that are just markers. And will you check that bottle over there and see what that bottle is? This is Robert Swann, born 1854, died July 1877. So he was 23 years old. So these guys are pretty young. This is A.L. Swann, born 1892, December 1892. He was born August of 1892 and died December of 1892. He was 4 months old. And there was some kind of disease or something going back there, some kind of plague. So this is, what does that say? It looks like Cave Yates. That's what it looks like. Cave Yates. March 5th, 1850 to May 1st, 1921. And the other one says Sarah Randolph, his wife, July 1849, it looks like, to June of 1910. So I'm gonna have to go back and read my notes and refresh my memory of the names that came back with Kilgore. This is Yates, 1878 to 1880, looks like maybe. It says brother. So is it movable? Oh no, it's in the tree. Oh my gosh. So this looks like a possible headstone that this tree has literally grown around. And let me show you how big this tree actually is. This tree is freaking huge. So at least a couple hundred years old, maybe. I mean, you just literally, let me show you literally how big this tree actually is. This is how big this tree actually is, so it's got to be several hundred years old, maybe. And then there's one more behind it. Right there, it doesn't have anything on it, it's just a rock marker. And I hope and pray to God that these people that are clearing this out does not touch anything over here. That would, one, piss me off, and two, that would break my heart that they would upset these people's final resting spot. I cannot read this. All I can see is 1861 to 1887. This one is pretty far gone. The rest of that one looks like 1802. So this is pretty old. That one's Alfred Yates, April 1854, died November 11th, 1913, age 59 years, 6 months, and 15 days. And then I'm not sure what this is.
the oldest one.
I don't know if this is a marker or just a piece of stone that they've brought up. Could be a marker. And that right there could also be a marker. We learned through our research and reading a lot of stuff that the older these graveyards are, they put rocks, piled rocks, as a marker for people's final resting place, and that's all they could do. We have found several of them in the old graveyard that we used to have. So I'm on the other side of the graveyard cemetery, and look how humongous this tree is. I love it. It's spooky looking, and I bet you it holds all these people's souls in that tree. This is inside the graveyard, and this tree has literally, I don't know if this is a marker or not. I just seen that.
There's a marker.
But some of these, they probably dug up while they were doing whatever they're doing out here, because they did, looks like they've already cut down one tree. But this tree has literally grew through these tombstones. This is crazy. All right, well, I'm glad you guys can go on this little excavation with us, or not excavation, exploration. I'm cold and my lips aren't moving too great. So I'm glad you guys can go on this exploration with us, and I will update on this because I'm really interested with these names, because there was a James Yates that come back with Kilgore when he come back to settle in Cross Plains, Tennessee in the year of 1777. So this is very interesting. I'm loving this. All right, well, on to the next.